Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's session, we are going to do a quick revision of quantum numbers. And then we will solve some practice questions to strengthen your concept. So, if you have ever felt confused about quantum numbers, then today's video is perfect for you. So, we will revise all the quantum numbers in the simplest way possible and then apply them to solve practice problems. So by the end, you will definitely feel much more confident about this topic. So let's begin. So as we studied before, that there are 4 quantum numbers that describes the properties and position of an electron in an atom. These 4 quantum numbers are principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. So first is principal quantum number, which is denoted by N. It tells us the main energy level or shell, in which electron is present, and it is named as K, L, M or N, so on. Suppose this is the nucleus and these are the shells in which electrons are supposed to be present. So these named as K, L, M or N, so on. It is also numbered as 1, 2, 3 or 4. So we can say that as the value of N increases, energy will also increases. It also tells us about the size of the orbital. Size of orbital. That means bigger, N means bigger orbital. So for N is equal to 1, we are talking about K shell, that is first shell of that atom. For N is equal to 2, that means L shell. For N is equal to 3, that means M shell. And for N is equal to 4, that means N shell. And so on. For example, if N is equal to 2, that means electron is present in second shell, that is L shell, and it has more energy than electron present in first shell. So you can imagine the principal quantum number as the floor number of a building, where each floor is a shell around nucleus. So bigger the number, the farther and the larger the space for electron. Next is azimuthal quantum number, which is denoted by L. It tells us about the subshell in which electron is present. It also decides the shape of orbital, which I will discuss in our next video. Shape of orbital. So azimuthal quantum number decides the subshell of an electron and the shape of the orbital in which electron is present. So for a given principal quantum number n, the value of L can range from 0 to n minus. So L can range from 0 to n minus 1. Like for L is equal to 0, that means s orbital, which is spherical in shape. For L is equal to 1, that means p orbital, which is dumbbell shape. For L is equal to 2, that is d orbital, which is clover shape. And for L is equal to 3, that means for f orbital, which is complex. The value of L also tells us about the angular momentum of electron. About the angular momentum of electron. So azimuthal quantum number tells us about the subshell of electron, shape of orbital and angular momentum of electron. So if principal quantum number tells us the floor of a building, then azimuthal quantum number L tells us the type of flat on that floor. Like for n is equal to 1, that is for first shell. There are only one type of flat, that is 1s. And for n is equal to 2, that is for second shell. The possible type of flats are 2s, 2p. And for n is equal to 3, that is for third shell, there are three types of flats: 3s, 3p and 3d. And for n is equal to 4, that is for fourth shell, there are four types of flats: 4s, 4p, 4d and 4f. So basically it tells us what kind of flat the electron is staying in and what shape it has. So how we calculate total number of orbital in a subshell? We will use the formula 2L plus 1. So by using this formula we can calculate the total number of orbital. And how we calculate maximum number of electron in a subshell? Because each orbital can hold only 2 electrons, so we can use a formula like 2L plus 1. So by using this formula we can calculate total number of electron in a subshell. For example, for L is equal to 0, that is for S subshell, total number of orbital will be 2L plus 1. That is 2 into 0 plus 1. That means only one orbital present in S subshell. And for L is equal to 1, that is for P subshell, total number of orbital will be 2 into 1 plus 1. That means total 3 orbitals. And for L is equal to 2, that means for d subshell, total number of orbitals will be 2 into 2 plus 1, that is 5 orbitals. And for L is equal to 3, that is for F subshell, total number of orbital will be 2 into 3 plus 1, that is 7 orbitals. So we can present it like, for S there is only 1 orbital in S subshell. For P, total number of orbital will be 3. For D, total number of orbital will be 5. And for F, total number of orbital will be 7. Now we will take an example for calculating maximum number of electron in a subshell. Like for L is equal to 0, that is for S subshell, total number of electron that we can calculate by using this formula 2L plus 1. That is 2, now put the value of L, that is 0 plus 1. So total 2 electrons present in S orbital. Now for L is equal to 1, that means for P subshell, total number of electron will be 2 into 1 plus 1. That is total 6 electron. And for L is equal to 2, that means for D subshell, total number of electron will be 2 into 2 plus 1. That is 10 electron. And for L is equal to 3, for F subshell, total number of electron that it can hold will be 2 into 3 plus 1, that is 14 electron. We can also understand it like S has 1 orbital, P has 3 orbital, and D has 5 number of orbitals, and F has total 7 orbitals. So as we know, each orbital can hold only 2 electrons. One is clockwise and other is anti-clockwise. So S can hold 2 electrons because P has 3 orbitals and each orbital can hold 2 electrons. So their total number of electrons will be 6. And this is P and this is T. There are total 5 orbitals and each orbital can hold 2 electrons. So total electron will be 10. And this is F subshell, and total number of orbital in F is 7 and each orbital can hold 2 electrons. So there are total 14 number of electrons. So from azimuthal quantum number, we can quickly find the total number of orbitals with 2L plus 1 and maximum electron with 2L plus 1, which is very useful for quick problem solving. We can understand it like, if L is the type of flat, then formula 2L plus 1 tells us how many rooms are in that flat, and each room can have 2 people, that is 2 electrons. So we use 2L plus 1 formula to know the maximum number of people in that flat. Next is magnetic quantum number, which is denoted by m. It tells us the orientation of an orbital in space within a given subshell. So what it tells? It tells the orientation of an orbital. For given L, the value of M can range from -1 to +1 including 0. You can say for the given value of L, the value of M can range from -L to +L including 0. It helps us distinguish between orbital of same type, that is same L but pointing in different direction. For example, for S orbital, M will be 0. That is only one orientation. And for P orbital, the value of M range from -L to +L. That is for P orbital, because there are 3 orbitals, so the value of M can range from -1, 0, +1. So there are 3 orientation: Px, Py and Pz. And for D orbital, the value of M can range from -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. So there are 5 orientation. So if the floor is N and flat type is L, then the magnetic quantum number M tells us which room inside that flat the electron is staying in. So as we can see, for P type, L is equal to 1. There are 3 rooms and each oriented differently in the building, like Px, Py and Pz. So there are 3 orientation for P. Next is spin quantum number, which is denoted by S. It tells us the direction of spin of an electron in an orbital. An orbital can hold maximum 2 electrons, and these 2 electrons must have opposite spin. One is +half and second is -half. Or we can say that one can be clockwise and other can be anti-clockwise. So we can understand it like if the floor N is the electron level, or floor, then L is the type of flat and M is the room inside the flat, then the spin quantum number tells us which way the person inside the room is facing, clockwise or anti-clockwise. That is, 2 persons in the same room must face opposite direction, just like 2 electrons in the same orbitals must have opposite spins. So this property can also explain Pauli exclusive principles. Pauli's exclusive principles. Let's take an example of 1s2, and we need to check all 4 quantum numbers for these 2 electrons. So for both the electrons, the principal quantum number will be 1 and azimuthal quantum number will be 0 and magnetic quantum number will also 0, but the spin quantum number, because there are 2 electrons and s has 1 orbital, so 1 electron will be clockwise. So for first electron, the value of s is plus half, and for the second electron, the value of s will be minus half. So we can say that electron share the same value of n, l and m, but their spin are different. Now that we have gone through all concepts, let's try few practice questions to see how well you have understood quantum numbers. So try to solve questions on your own first, pause the video, work it out and then play it again to check the answers. So the first question is, what are the possible values of azimuthal quantum number L for n is equal to 3? What will be the possible values of L? So as we know, for the given value of n, values of L can range from 0 to n minus 1. So the possible values for L will be 0, 1, 2. So possible subshells are 3s, 3p and 3d. By using this formula, you can calculate the possible values of L for the given number of n. Next question is, for L is equal to 2, what are the possible values of magnetic quantum number m? So for L is equal to 2, we need to calculate the possible values of m. So as we know, for the values of L 0, 1, 2 and 3, the subshells will be S, P, D and F. So for L is equal to 2, there will be D subshell. And as we know, there are 5 orbitals in the D subshell. And for this, the possible values of m will be minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. The formula that we use in this question is, for the given value of L, the values of m can range from minus L to plus L including 0. So the possible values of m for the D subshell will be minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. Next question is, how many electrons can be accommodated in the shell with n is equal to 4? So for n is equal to 4, total number of electrons which a shell holds is calculated by using formula 2n square. So the total number of electrons will be 32. We can also calculate total number of electrons by using the logic like, for n is equal to 4, that means we are talking about fourth shell. And for the fourth shell, possible subshells are 4s, 4p, 4d and 4f. So as we know, there are 1 orbital in s subshell, there are 3 orbitals in p subshell, there are 5 orbitals in d, and there will be 7 orbitals in f. And each orbital can hold 2 electrons. We can fill 2 electrons in each orbital. Now we will add all the electrons, that will be 32 in number. So total number of electron will be 32. Next question is, state the 4 quantum numbers of the last electron in oxygen. So, atomic number of oxygen is 8. The configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 4. That is, this is first shell and this will be the second shell, K and L. And maximum number of electron in first shell will be 2 and maximum number of electron will be in second shell is 8. So we will start filling electron from the first shell. So the configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 4. So as we can see in this configuration, last electron is in p orbital. So we will calculate all 4 quantum numbers for the last electron which enters in 2p subshell. So this is the p subshell, and as we know there are 3 orbitals in p subshell. Now fill all the orbital with the electron 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the last electron, and for this electron we need to find out all the 4 quantum numbers. So for this electron, principal quantum number will be 2. Azimuthal quantum number for p is 1. Magnetic quantum number will be -1, 0, +1. So for the last electron, magnetic quantum number will be -1 and spin quantum number will be -12 because the last electron is anti-clockwise. So these are the all 4 quantum numbers for the last electron. Next question is, how many orbitals are possible for n is equal to 3? So for n is equal to 3, that means we are talking about third shell. If this is the nucleus and these are the shells K, L, M. So for n is equal to 3, that means this is third shell. And for the third shell, possible subshells are 3s, 3p and 3d. For s, there is only one orbital. For p, there are 3 orbitals. And for d, there are 5 orbitals. So total orbitals will be 9. We can also calculate total number of orbitals for the given value of n by using the formula n square. Total orbital. 3 square, that is 9. So total 9 orbitals for n is equal to 3. Next question is, what is the maximum number of electron that can have if n is equal to 3 and L is equal to 1? So for n is equal to 3 and L is equal to 1, we need to calculate maximum number of electrons. So n is equal to 3, that means third shell. And L is equal to 1, that means p subshell. So as we know, there are 3 orbitals in p subshell. And each orbital can hold 2 electrons. So maximum number of electrons are 6, because for n is equal to 3 and L is equal to 1, we are talking about 3p subshell. and in 3p subshell there will be 3 orbital and each orbital can hold 2 electron. So total number of electron is 3 orbitals multiply 2 because each orbital can hold 2 electrons. So total number of electrons are 6. Next question is, for n is equal to 5, how many values of m are possible in total? So for n is equal to 5, the possible values of L will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we have to calculate possible values of m for each L values. Like for L is equal to 0, the possible value of m is 0. For L is equal to 1, possible values of m is -1, 0, +1. For L is equal to 2, the possible values of m will be -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. And for L is equal to 3, possible values of m will be -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2 and +3. And at last, for L is equal to 4, possible values of m will be -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, +3 and +4. So total m values will be, like for L is equal to 0, possible value of m is 1. For the second value of L, possible value of m is 3. And for the L is equal to 2, the possible values of m is 5. For L is equal to 3, possible value of m is 7. And at last, for L is equal to 4, possible value of m is 9. So total number of orbitals will be 25. So in this question, first we need to calculate possible values of L and then we need to calculate possible values of m for each L. Then we need to add all the possible values of m. That will be 25. Next question is, write the quantum numbers for the last electron in chlorine. So as mentioned here, the atomic number of chlorine is 17. So the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p5. So we need to fill all the electron according to octet rule. So this is the first shell K, this is the second shell L and this is the third shell M. So we will start filling electron from the first shell 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. So here we can see that last electron enters in 3p subshell. So this is the 3p subshells. The maximum number of orbitals in p subshell is 3p5. Now we will fill all the 5 electrons in these orbitals 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is the last electron that enter in 3p subshell. And we need to find out all the quantum number for this last electron. So for this electron, principal quantum number n is 3, azimuthal quantum number L is 1 and magnetic quantum number is -1, 0, +1. Because last electron enter in the middle orbital, So for this, the value of m is 0. And for spin quantum number s, the value is minus half, because this electron is anti-clockwise. So these are the values of all quantum number for this last electron of chlorine. Question number 9 is, how many electrons in an atom can have the quantum number n is equal to 4 and m is equal to 0? So for n is equal to 4, possible values of L will be 0, 1, 2 and 3. Because as we know, for the given value of n, the possible values of L is 0 to n minus 1. So the possible values of L will be 0, 1, 2, 3. And for each L, check if m is equal to 0 is possible. So for this, L is equal to 0, m will be 0. For L is equal to 1, possible values of m is minus 1, 0, plus 1. For L is equal to 2, possible values of m is minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. And for L is equal to 3, possible values of m is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2 and plus. So here we can see that there are 4 orbitals for which m is equal to 0 is possible. So total 4 orbitals with m is equal to 0. And as we know that each electron can hold 2 electrons, so maximum electron with m is equal to 0 is 4 into 2. Total 8 electron. So this is the answer. So to solve this question, we need to find out possible values of L for the given number of n, which we will get 0, 1, 2, 3. And after that, we need to calculate possible values of m for each L. And then we will find out possible m is equal to 0. That will be 4, because we knows that each orbital can hold 2 electrons. So we will calculate total number of electrons. That will be 8. So this will be the answer. Now the question number 10 is, what are the 4 quantum numbers for the 19th electron of potassium? So as we can see here, the atomic number of potassium is 19. So according to octet rule, the electronic configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 6, 3s2, 3p6 and 4s1. So this is the first shell, this is the second shell, the third, and this will be the fourth shell. So as we can see, last electron enter in 4s1, and for this last electron we need to find out all 4 quantum numbers, and for this electron principal quantum number n will be 4, azimuthal quantum number L will be 0 for s subshell, and magnetic quantum number m is 0, because for s orbital the possible value of m is 0, and spin quantum number s will be plus half. So the set of quantum numbers for the last electron will be 4, 0, 0 plus half. This will be the answer. Next question. So the last question of this session is, an orbital is designated as 5f. Write the values of n, l and possible m. So for the 5f orbital, the possible values of all quantum numbers will be, like principal quantum number is 5, azimuthal quantum number will be 3, because as we know, for the values of L, 0, 1, 2, 3, S subshell, P subshell, D and F. So for F, the value of L will be 3 and the possible values of M will be from minus L to plus L, including 0. So the possible values will be minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2 and plus 3. So these are the values of N, L and M for 5f orbital. So that was our quick revision and discussion of important questions. I hope it helped you recall all the key points easily. Keep revising like this and concept will stay fresh in your mind. In the next video, we will move on to the next concept. So stay consistent and keep learning. Bye-bye.